All right.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Hi, Stephanie. Good
Hello,
afternoon
Christine.
here in the Palawan, Philippines,
Oh,
and
I wish I was there. It looks beautiful.
oh yeah, you're welcome to be here anytime.
Well, very appropriate. You have waves and an ocean behind you. It's so
Oh
beautiful.
yeah, oh
Mm.
yeah, you're right. Yes, actually, that's really Palawan that you're looking right now. I captured it because I really love nature and it gives
Mm.
me a lot of inspiration every time. So anyway,
It is.
I'm very excited to to get to know you more and to go to a deeper level. So
Likewise.
Stephanie, I'd like to ask you, like, for those who don't know you yet, and or perhaps they have heard about you and would like to know more about you. Who is Stephanie Thornton?
That's a big question. Well, I would say that Stephanie is a collection of a lot of things. The I guess the best way to be able to share who I am is to start with my story and start with a little bit of background where I started from, which brings me to where I am today. And that is that my family was well, myself and the rest of my family grew up on a commercial fishing boat, and we moved
Hmm.
on when I was 6 years old onto this boat. And my father made his living as an abalone diver, and this was in the U.S. In the in Southern California part of the United States, the West Coast. But the thing was that what was interesting is not only just growing up on a fishing boat, but the fact that the ocean, I got connected with the ocean so early in life, and then it became my playground, and
Wow.
so yeah,
Amazing. A playground, yeah.
it, well, it was our playground. I mean, growing up on the ocean and the boat and having all the experiences was pretty exciting. But the thing that really is unique about who I am is the fact that there's one side of the ocean about the ocean. It's being connected to it and feeling wanting to protect it. But the other side of it is that we lived on the ocean and my family made a living on the ocean. So there was always the business side of it,
Wow.
and that's kind of unique to have both
It
the
is.
business, the commercial side from being a fisherman, and then also wanting to protect it because it is your
Mm.
home. And
Wow.
so it's really, yeah, it was quite a unique experience. And so over the years we lived on our boat literally for 10 years. um, so by the time we moved off, then I was getting close to going to university, and I studied marine science. So actually starting to understand the science behind the oceans and living environment and that type of thing. But I have to admit, the science was not my passion, and so I ended up continuing to work in conservation, ocean conservation, and worked my way over a course of many years,
Uh-huh.
ultimately working as chief of the U.S. government's Marine Sanctuary Program, which was in charge of conserving 13 congressionally designated marine protected areas. So it was quite the challenging job, but it really brought together all the aspects of what I knew and the experiences
Wow.
and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah, the way that you were brought up and the what what you're doing right now is so connected. And I would love to ask. So, what is this the company all about? I mean, what is this ocean energy, and what do you do right now? I'd love to
Yeah.
understand how it works. Yes.
Yeah. Well, ocean energy or offshore renewable energy is sort of a new and growing field. And a lot of people have heard of offshore wind or being able to, because there's a lot of development of solar and wind on the
Mm-hmm.
land. And the idea is that we're moving to the ocean environment to capture and harness the energy. And so
Mm.
offshore renewables is about capturing energy out of the movement of the oceans, whether it's waves, tides, even the wind that blows across the ocean and so forth.
Wow.
So um, there's different
How did it
ways.
start? So amazing.
Well, there's been dreamers for decades, for actually hundreds of years, that have always wondered how to capture that energy. But it's only been really in the last, well, I guess 20 years where there's been very directed effort to try and build the technologies that could actually harness that energy and turn it into electricity or air or water pressure. And so, and mostly because us as a humanity across the world are looking for better solutions, energy solutions as well. So there's more support and engagement to make these kinds of changes and new technologies happen.
Yeah, so amazing. I can imagine, like, I cannot imagine right now. There are a lot of different, ways for this energy, electricity for people, that can really make a big impact. Is it already here? I mean, is it already working? Uh-huh.
Yeah, it is. There's different stages, like any other technology, there's different stages of development, of course.
Yes.
And in the case of offshore renewables, which would be wave and tidal, some offshore wind and so forth, a lot of those technologies are at different levels of maturity at different locations around the world. So for example, Singapore just announced one of the largest floating solar operations just happening at a commercial level in Singapore. And then in Scotland, there's some commercial developments that are occurring there in the wave and tidal side, as well as Western Europe. So what we're trying to do in Australia is be able to incorporate and take advantage of the excellent resources we have in the country, and also bring offshore renewables to Australia. So
That's amazing. So I just want to ask you also, what's the best piece of advice that you have, lived as, as Stephanie right now? I know you have experienced a lot in your life. I just want to ask you, yes, what's the best piece of advice that you can share to the world right now? And what do you stand for?
Well, boy, there's a couple of key issues there. So first of all, I think as the thing that stands out to me is that what I stand for is action, because anybody, there's lots of people talk about things, or there's lots of descriptions and words, and people have great ideas, but unless those are translated to real action, there's no real change. And so I don't, it's not really an advice I have, but there's a statement or a mantra that I do live by, which is understanding, I just messed it up. Never mind. But seeing is believing, and believing leads to adoption. And so the idea being that once people can see something tangible and be able to realize that it's real, then people can start to take action, and then action leads to change. And that's the part that I really live through the work that I do, because it is about mobilizing people and introducing a new industry to people who are not familiar with it. So that's a big challenge.
Wow, that's amazing. But I just want to ask you, if how will it impact the environment with what you're doing right now? How will it impact the environment that we are in?
I'm glad you asked that, because that is this really big issue, and we're all concerned about that. We don't want to develop new industries that then create a problem on another scale. So
right.
Ocean, as far as all the research, everything that's been done so far, there's been no documented impacts in the environment or to the living resources, the animals that live in the ocean, or to the the actual physical environment. The physical environment and ocean, and the quality of the ocean as well. And there will always be, as technologies continue to evolve and to grow, there will continue to be the research to make sure it doesn't cause impact. But I can speak confidently with our industry that we do not want to have any impact on the environment. Otherwise, these new technologies don't make sense. We're trying to provide, an alternative for weaning off impactful energy sources such as fossil fuels or any other source that might be causing impacts or negative impacts, and we're trying to provide an alternative positive solution.
Wow. Yeah, I'm so excited. Actually, you know what? If that is available in the Philippines, I'll be so excited to really experience it. And it's really
Well,
a shift in mindset altogether. It's really a shift in
it
mindset.
is. It is a shift because shifting from one source of energy that people are used to and is part of everyday life to something that's going to be completely different. It is an education process, and it's hard to affect change. So that's where it really comes down to, as you and I've spoken about before, is about getting people to see what the opportunity is. And that's kind of why I live by that mantra that seeing leads to understanding, because that's what will get people to be willing to make
a difference.
make a difference. That's true.
Oh wow. We really need like heart space, conscious people like you, Stephanie, moving forward. Yes, we really need those kinds of leaders right now. And I'm very excited for the forum on September 10th for what you'll be able to share with us, to raise awareness even on the small things that we do every day, and how the other, the organizations that you are connected with right now can really make a great impact for a better world, for a better
Well,
people.
thank you. It's really nice of you. I'm really excited because our organization, I didn't mention before, but it's the Australian Ocean Energy Group, we're an industry-led cluster. And
Sure.
as a cluster, we are our own community, a small community of really diverse people who are very passionate about specifically offshore renewables and working together to help make this change. And so we do get down in the weeds and we're pretty technical, but
Yeah, we need people like you, like you really,
it's
those
hard to,
people who are, who has that brain capacity to have that creativity and passion to, create
yeah,
inventions that will really change the world and be
yeah,
better impact, something like that.
yeah. Thank you. It's very clear that all of us that are working together, especially in our organization, are committed to the same vision. The
Yes, yes.
challenges, the challenges are great. They're hard for us because the sector, the industry is quite young.
Mm-hmm.
And so just like wind, whether it's onshore or offshore, it started from the beginning too. And there were challenges
Yes.
trying to get people to believe
Mm-hmm.
in it and to understand how it worked and not to be afraid of it and so forth. And we're following right in the same kinds of challenges. And so we're hoping that we in our ability to affect change will require us to continue building a bigger community. And that's why I'm very excited to be part of September's forum, because
Yes,
um,
the sustainability
hopefully
forum.
there
Yes.
will be others who understand what we're trying to do and would like to be part of this particular industry growth.
That's amazing. Yeah, here in Symphony 7, also the reason why it gave birth is, to have this kind of meaningful connections with people who want to change the world and uplift humanity and the planet, like you, Stephanie, and your team.
Oh,
Your organization is really something that people have to be aware of, something like
I
that.
appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. It's hard when you're so busy day-to-day work to be able to get the word out and to be able to share that with others. But being able to share it really is exciting, and it reinforces why we're doing it,
Yes,
and
yes.
that the struggle is worth it. Yeah.
Well, okay. So, my last message. Maybe if you have a last message for all our viewers right now, Stephanie, what would that be? For those people who are watching or who's gonna watch or we're gonna see this video, to our members and to our tribe, what would you like to say to them?
I'd like to invite you to join us on our journey and learn more about ocean energy. There's many different ways to participate, but I guess the most challenging thing is not challenging, but in closing, I just want to invite people to become part of this broader community and to help us be able to bring ocean energy forward. When I say ocean energy, I mean offshore renewables and all the different opportunities that there are, and help us connect with those in the communities and the businesses and the industries on our coast who could best benefit from that. And hopefully we can find those connections so that we can accelerate the opportunity to make a difference.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for your time. And I'm
Thank you,
looking
Christine.
forward again to see you in the forum on September 10.
Likewise. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you, Christine.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye.